Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sharmin Rahman, Associate Professor, Department of Anatomy, Ad-Din Women's Medical College, Mogbazar, Dhaka. Today I am going to discuss about the gross anatomy of the pancreas. Pancreas is a soft, lobulated and situated on the posterior abdominal wall behind the peritoneum. It occupies the epigastrium and left upper quadrant of the abdomen. Measurements are: it is 12 to 15 centimeter in length, 3 to 4 centimeter in breadth, and thickness is 1.5 to 2 centimeter and weight is 80 to 90 grams. Function of the pancreas. The pancreas is a mixed gland. It has both exocrine and endocrine function. And the exocrine portion of the gland produces a secretion that contains enzymes capable of hydrolyzing proteins, fat and carbohydrates. The endocrine portion of the gland, the pancreatic islets or islets of Langerhans, produces the hormones insulin and glucagon, which play a key role in the carbohydrate metabolism. Now parts of the pancreas. Pancreas has 4 parts: head, neck, body and tail. Here we can see this is head, this is neck, this is body and this is tail. Now head of the pancreas. The head of the pancreas is disc shaped and lies within the concavity of the duodenum. The head is flattened from before backwards and lies at a lower level than the body, opposite the lumbar 1 and lumbar 2 vertebra. Head of the pancreas presents 2 surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface, 4 borders, upper border, lower border, right border and left border, and 1 process, that is uncinate process. Anterior surface, it is directed forwards and laterally. It is related with the transverse colon and its upper part is non-peritoneal. Lower part is covered with peritoneum and is related with coils of jejunum. The superior mesenteric vessels present in front of the uncinate process. Now posterior surface. It is non-peritoneal and directed backwards and medially. It is related with inferior vena cava and both renal veins, right crus of the diaphragm with the right middle suprarenal and gonadal arteries, right celiac ganglion and sometimes cisterna chyli and azygos vein, and also related with the bile duct. Upper border is overlapped by the first part of duodenum, and this is first part of duodenum, and rest of the borders overlap the adjoining surfaces of second, third and fourth parts of the duodenum. These are second, third and here is fourth part of the duodenum. Now uncinate process. It is a triangular projection which arises from the lower and left part of the head. It passes upwards and medially behind the superior mesenteric vessels. It is related in front with the superior mesenteric vessels, behind with the abdominal aorta, and above left renal vein. Now neck. The neck is a constricted portion of the pancreas that connects the body with the head. It is about 2 cm long and it is directed forwards, upwards and to the left. It presents two surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface, two borders, upper border and lower border. Anterior surface is covered with peritoneum of lesser sac and related with the pyloric end of the stomach. Posterior surface is non-peritoneal and presents a shallow groove which contains superior mesenteric vein in the lower part and trunk of portal vein in the upper part. In this figure, we can see this is splenic vein and this is superior mesenteric vein, which collectively form the trunk of portal vein behind the posterior surface of the pancreas. In this model, we can also see this is splenic vein and this is superior mesenteric vein, which collectively form the portal vein. Upper part is overlapped by the first part of the duodenum and lower part gives attachment to the root of the transverse colon. Now body. The body runs upward and to the left across the midline. It is triangular on cross section. Body presents three surfaces. One is anterior superior surface, another one is anterior inferior surface and posterior surface, and three borders: superior border, inferior border and anterior border. Now anterior surface of the body. It is slightly concave, directed forwards and upwards and is covered with peritoneum of lesser sac, and it is related with posterior inferior surface of the stomach separated by lesser sac. Now inferior surface. It is directed downwards and forwards and is covered with the peritoneum of greater sac. It is related with duodejunal flexure, few coils of jejunum and left colic flexure. Now posterior surface. It is entirely non-peritoneal and related with abdominal aorta with the origin of superior mesenteric artery, left crus of the diaphragm, left psoas major muscle and sympathetic trunk, left suprarenal gland, left kidney across the hilum, left renal vessels and pelvis of the left ureter, left suprarenal and left gonadal veins and splenic vein. Now superior border. Close to the right end, it presents a conical projection known as tuber omentally. Celiac artery is related above the tuber and hepatic artery runs along the right side of the tuber omentally. Anterior border gives attachment to the root of the transverse mesocolon. Now inferior border. Superior mesenteric vessels emerge under cover of the right end of this border. Now tail. The tail passes forwards and comes in contact with the hilum of the spleen. It is related in front with a stomach separated by Lesser sac behind by the spleen and splenic vessels, and below it is related with left colic flexor. In this figure, we can see the anterorelations of the different parts of the pancreas, and in this figure we can see the posterior relations of different parts of the pancreas. Now, pancreatic ducts. Pancreas has two types of ducts, one is main duct and another one is accessory pancreatic duct. The main duct of the pancreas begins in the tail and runs the length of the gland and receiving numerous tributaries on the way. Then it opens into the second part of the duodenum at about its middle with the bile duct on the major duodenal papilla. Sometimes the main duct drains separately into the duodenum. And the accessory duct of the pancreas, when present, it drains the upper part of the head and then opens into the duodenum a short distance above the main duct of the pancreas on the minor duodenal papilla. The accessory duct frequently communicates with the main duct. In this figure, we can see this is the main duct of the pancreas, which begins from the tail and then ultimately it opens with the bile duct in the major duodenal papilla, and this is the accessory pancreatic duct. In this figure, these are acinar cell and these are duct cells of the pancreas, which are exocrine portion of the pancreas, and the secretion of these cells are drains into the main pancreatic duct. This is main pancreatic duct and this is accessory pancreatic duct. This main pancreatic duct opens into the major duodenal papilla in the second part of the duodenum, and this accessory pancreatic duct opens into the minor duodenal papilla in the second part of duodenum. Now, arterial supply. Head and neck of the pancreas are supplied by the ventral and dorsal anastomosis of the superior and inferior pancreatico-duodenal arteries. Body and tail are supplied by the pancreatic branches of the splenic artery, and there is a large branch known as arteria pancreatica magna. In this figure, we can see these are anterior and posterior branches of the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, which is a branch of gastroduodenal artery, which is a branch of celiac trunk, and which is a ventral branch of the abdominal aorta. And this is anterior and posterior division of inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, which is a branch of superior mesenteric artery and which is the another ventral branch of the abdominal aorta. And this is the splenic artery, which gives pancreatic branches to the pancreas, and this is the largest branch, that is known as arteria pancreatica magna. Now, venous drainage. These correspond to the arteries and drain into superior mesenteric vein, splenic vein, and into the trunk of the portal vein. In this figure, we can see this is superior mesenteric vein, this is splenic vein, and this is portal vein. Now, lymphatic drainage of pancreas. Head and neck drain into ventral and dorsal groups of pancreatico-duodenal lymph nodes. Body and tail drain into pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes, and efferent vessels of these nodes terminate into celiac and superior mesenteric lymph nodes. In this figure, we can see this is the lymphatic drainage of pancreas, and these are the anterior pancreatico-duodenal lymph nodes, and these are the posterior pancreatico-duodenal lymph nodes, and these are pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes, and efferent vessels of these lymph nodes goes into the celiac lymph nodes, and these are superior mesenteric lymph nodes. Now, nerve supply of pancreas. It is supplied by autonomic nervous system, that is the sympathetic nerves are derived from celiac and superior mesenteric plexuses. Parasympathetic nerves are derived from both vagus nerves, and applied anatomy. In the pancreas, there may be pancreatitis, that means the inflammation of the pancreas, which may be acute or chronic. And there may also carcinoma of the head of the pancreas, pancreatic cyst, and there is a developmental anomaly may develop, that is known as annular type of pancreas, where the head of the pancreas encircles the duodenum, and in this situation, if that pancreas is diseased, then it produces duodenal obstruction. This is the annular type of pancreas. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and I'm coming soon next week, inshallah.